The Glazers are taking Manchester United off of the market. They are not selling. They are holding out for £10 billion before they let the club go. That is a big trending exclusive from the Daily Mail, that Man United will be taken off the market by the Glazers after bidders fail to reach their asking price. A huge blow to furious fans, they say. And I am angry about this. In fact, for this news to come out just before the international break, as the window's closed, after everybody's renewed their season tickets and bought their shirts, on the eve of a massive game against Arsenal, it is infuriating to see this news. But I am not surprised. I was very hopeful the club was going to be sold. But I am not surprised, because the Glazers are here for one reason and one reason only, and it says it at the end of that headline. They want money. They're here for money. People that are money hungry are very controllable. They can be molded. They can be manipulated because they're here for money. Now, there's some different sides to this story that we're going to go through, and some counter arguments to it. So stay with us. Make sure like buttons are being hit. Make sure you're subscribing. But I want to say that if we focus just on this story, and we're going to sit in the world that it's true. Now, listen, rivals are all laughing, saying it's definitely true, and it could be. It's the Daily Mail, though, and if the Daily Mail wrote something negative about your club, you'd probably say it's the Daily Foul. It's not a great newspaper. But I'm going to treat this as the truth for a moment, for the sake of the conversation and argument. If this happens, what are you going to do, Man United fans? Forget the banter from rivals. I can take it. All the leaks that came out about the sale of this club came from the Glazers and the Rain Group. And if this story is true, they have lied to us for 9 months. Because if £10 billion is now the asking price, all the talk of 5 billions and 6 billions was Fugazi. Fugazi. They've lied to us. What are you going to do? We've had hashtags. We've had green and gold scarves. We've done protests. We've had strongly worded letters. We've had chanting. Everything, haven't we? Every action has been taken to rid the club of the Glazers. I know what rivals will say. We should spend money. What, you want your owners out? The stadium is rusting. The training ground is antiquated, old, archaic. The debt, the dividends. The fact that making money out the club is the sole driver, the main ambition, not to be the best football team in the world. Yes, we spend money on transfers, but we have a bang average board. They don't care about winning, and they are letting the infrastructure around the club fall away, erode, evaporate. So that is why we want them out. For anybody that has them, they spend money. It's nothing about spending money. It's our money they're spending, by the way, not theirs. They've not invested one penny. But I'm at a point now where I'm more angry with Man United fans than I am the Glazers. And we all... And I put myself in that category. And this is where Man United fans irk me. Is I don't believe I'm superior to you. When I first started, the problem is you may see a 30-second clip or a minute clip of me. And of course, that's out of context of everything I say about the Glazers. I pulled money away from the club 5 to 6 years ago now because I realized I was being a hypocrite. They only care about making money. But if I moan but persist to give them money, then going nowhere. They will continue to mistreat the club because we are funding them and making it possible for them to do it. So I pull my money away. And I still make mistakes. I don't follow their Twitter account. I don't go on the website. But every now and then I'll be in a Twitter conversation and I might reply to something. I think I said, thanks to David De Gea on the Man United post on the thread. And I'm like, I probably shouldn't be interacting with it. So we all make mistakes. I'm not claiming to be perfect. What I'm trying to do is start a conversation about the only real and tangible way I believe we can get them out of the club. But the only real tangible way we can force them out is by personal sacrifice. Man United fans have got to be prepared to boycott the club entirely. Now, this is the interesting thing, and I wanted to have these conversations with people, but instead they attack. I don't think you have to do a full boycott from day one. You start off with something small, and you create a bit of a manifesto, and you'll escalate to a point where you completely walk away if our demands are not met. So it could be that nobody buys the new shirt when it comes out. It could be that the match-going fans go to begin with, but they're going to spend £0 on anything. They're going to make sure that no one can get into the mega store before the game, and no one buys any food, drink, or programs in the stadium. As an example, that would cost them a lot of money, by the way. That's millions of pounds straight away. If you don't sell at a certain price by this date, then we're going to do the next thing, and then the next thing, and the next thing. We keep adding to it. We as Man United fans have got to do something tangible here. And I mean this with respect to the protests, the hashtags. I think they play a part. But if they were going to have the impact we desired, the Glazers would have sold. But with more money coming into football than ever, they don't want to sell right now, according to this story. Proof again, they only want money. So how do you damage someone that only wants money? You pull the money away. But you have to be brave to do that. You have to tell your kids no for the new kit. Your kids might cry when you say you're canceling the season tickets. Tough love's needed. Teach them that doing this action is genuine love for the club. I think we have to do it. Match day revenue and commercial revenue, removing those two elements away from Man United, damage them profusely. And just the threat of this from fans would kill the share price, which also stops them making millions. Because, by the way, I guarantee you, they have sold shares during these last few months when the share price has risen, and they've personally made millions and millions of pounds as well, or dollars. Now, there's some interesting other takes to this. I want to be fair on this story. Some of you may have already said, but it's already been debunked. Ben Jacobs has come out and said he understands that Man United remain in the sales process and it's ongoing. Little has changed. No sale always one possibility, especially in light of the expected Club World Cup. There's more money for clubs. Those clubs close to Qatar side have said for some time they think their main rival is no sale, not Sir Jim Ratcliffe. So Ben Jacobs kind of saying, well, maybe it's not off the table. Mark Goldbridge with a very interesting set of opinions here, where he says that don't worry about the Glazer story. They're not taking it off the market. Old Trafford is rusting. Protests are growing. Club is broke and doing loans for major signings. They're screwed and need to sell. He then goes on to say a week ago, reports said Qatar had won. Don't let the report ruin your weekend. The club needs at least $2 billion of investment immediately. The Glazers don't have it and they can't borrow it. They'll go. Then this is a ploy, isn't it? Let's just say Goldbridge is right and Ben Jacobs is right. And I hope they are. I pray they are. What are they doing, though? They're using scare tactics to get as big a bids in as possible to still make more money. Even if Goldbridge is right, and he bloody could be here, he could genuinely be right, and I hope he is. But they're still doing it for money. So why are we indulging them by allowing them to have that money? And this is a call to action again to Man United fans. And I want to reiterate again, I don't think I'm better than you. I don't think I love the club more than you. I don't think anything negatively about you. I want the club to be fixed. Not only do I love Manchester United deeply, the time I've spent and lived in Manchester, that city took me in. The people took me in. It is my second home, and I love it dearly. And our clubs were built, most clubs around the country were, especially Man United, by working class communities that I care deeply about. And I do not like to see them mistreated by leech billionaires like the Glazers. But I wholeheartedly believe that the only way to guarantee to get them out is we have to cut the snake's head off. We have to pull money away. And maybe we start in a small way, like I said, and we escalate to a point where potentially People cancel season tickets. No more kits are being bought. We boycott and destroy the online reputations of sponsors. We have to become almost militant with this, because I don't believe banners, hashtags, and protests alone are going to work. Now, you may disagree, but let's get on camera. Let's get together. Let's have these conversations and debate them. If I'm completely wrong, then convince me I'm wrong. Convince people that think how I think we're wrong, and we'll get on board more with you, and we'll help. This is not about fighting. This isn't about one Man United fan being seen as a better Man United fan than somebody else, or this individual trying to grow his YouTube channel, and this person hates YouTube channels, so I'm not going to work with you. Oh, I used to have the biggest fanzine in the world. Now YouTube's taken over, so I'm angry about it. Oh, you're not from Manchester. Whoa, you're not from Salford. Oh, you're not. This has got to stop. The infighting has got to stop amongst fans. The YouTubers have got to all work together. The fanzines have got to work together. Whether you're from London, Manchester, Singapore, Brisbane, or New York, you've got to come together. And we have to have conversations about this. But the club needs to be called out. And I get today fans are going to want to focus on the game. And I get it. I want the boys to win today. But do you know what an interesting element of the story also stated? Is that the club might be put back up for sale later on, 2024, 2025. And part of it is also said that if the manager wins more trophies, the Glazers feel they're going to earn more money. And that's the crazy thing, because we all want the success. And that's where they've got you. You don't want your team to lose. But if we do win more under Ten Hag, we'll celebrate and they'll celebrate, because they'll make even more money. And in my personal opinion, for what it's worth, I don't want to make in the maximum. They're going to make something. But imagine they walk away with £10 billion after ruining our football club. Shame on us. Shame on us. I think we need to do more. Not you, not them, we. It's devastating news to wake up to this morning. The Glazers may be taking the club off the market. I'm fuming about it, but listen, we are finished. We are done. We are never going to get back to the peak of our powers with the Glazers in charge. We won in spite of them in Fergie's last 10 years, because Fergie controlled the club. But the rot in the last decade has set in. And I think until the main problem at the club is removed, there's no fixing it. We can improve. We can win. And I think it's fine to celebrate those individual moments. But in the cold, hard light of day, if the Glazers stay, Manchester United have finished.